This is Unit 1 Hoop Source. We're here exclusive at Trinity Prep International. We're here with Coach Allott, man. We would like to thank you for giving us an opportunity to come in.
Thank you for coming.
Coach Allott, just give us an intro on how your program came about and, you know, some of the things that y'all are doing.
You know, in 2010, toward the end, I moved to Las Vegas. My mother lived here and she got sick, and so I moved. I had no intentions of coaching basketball. And Ennis Wesley at the time was the AD at Quest Prep, and Brian and those guys were involved. And Ennis asked me to come over and coach the boys, and so I kind of came out of retirement. I was semi-retired, and we coached the boys that first year, and we were pretty good. We had Telfair and a few other guys, and then Quest didn't quite work out. They didn't have the I-20, what I needed. They didn't have the Northwest accreditation. And that year I got the bug again to come back and coach. I hadn't coached high school for maybe 20 years or so. It's been a long time.
Right. Actually, where did you coach?
High school or college?
High school and college.
High school, I coached at Seaside High School in the early 90s. I spent some time at Washington Prep in LA prior to that. Okay. Then I went to the junior college level, and Seaside is where I graduated from. And there was a family that kind of raised me, took me in. I was a foster child, and so they kind of took me in. And there was one of the brothers that was coaching at Seaside, and he was a freshman coach, and the varsity coach resigned, and he wanted the job, and they wouldn't give it to him. So after 1 year at the junior college level, I went down and took that job with the idea that after 3 years they would give it to him. And we proceeded to win, and then after 3 years he became the head coach, and as a matter of fact he was the all-time winningest coach there for 22 years, and ended up getting Alzheimer's. Don't mean to get off track. So we're headed down to try to do an event every year in his name. But then I left there and I started coaching some college and some pro, and just traveled around. And as I said, I moved here in 10. 11, I took over at Quest. In 12, I moved to Trinity. Trinity had asked to see me, and I went to see them, and they hadn't had a national program, but they did have the I-20, they did have the accreditation, and they were small, and they wanted someone to try to help them put them on the map.
Yes, sir.
So what I did was I made a deal with them that I would teach here, and I would donate my salary to a group of kids that I would bring in, and I would build them a national program. So I teach for nothing. Everything goes toward the kids' tuition. I pay for their housing, I pay for their food, the travel, and you know, we started off slow, but we're coming on a little bit now. Reputation-wise, we've been able to get some quality kids, and we started off all international because we just weren't known nationally. And as a result, now we have, I think, going to be 3 international kids when they all get here. I have 7 here, 1 international kid here, and the 6th national. And then I have 3 more international kids coming, so we'll have 4 altogether.
Now, I know that you guys are on the grind session this coming season.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about that? Because I know y'all in the West Coast bracket, correct?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. And we started off with, we were playing post-grads that first year with Quest, and then the first year with Trinity, because we weren't a part of the state association. So we couldn't get games, so we just played post-grad. And at the time, Prolific Prep was also doing the same thing. We didn't really like the post-grad scene. They were catering to post-grads, and we were the only 2 high schools. So Prolific had asked me about coming to their event in Napa, and they had a kid by the name of Josh Jackson. And they were being courted by the grind session and some guys that wanted to form the grind session, which hadn't really been formed yet. We went up and played Josh Jackson. We played close. We lost by 4, and we had a good showing that year. And then they invited us the next year, and then we were playing Thon Maker, and we were playing DeAndre Ayton, which we had already played him a couple times when he was with Balboa. And so we've been making good showing. Last year they made us a full member of the grind session, and this year they enhanced our competition level, so we'll play in more events. We play in Kentucky a few times, we play in Texas a few times, Arizona a few times. They're even going to bring an event here. They're thinking about early December to bring an event here. So we've been kind of forging our way, and slowly building a reputation.
I know in the summertime you also have your AAU program, Simply Fundamental.
Right.
I know that you also take children from the local and allow them to play on your team.
In the summertime, I
Yes,
do.
sir.
Yes, there are a lot of kids that would love to come. And I won't say a lot, but there are a few that would love to come to Trinity, but they can't. Part of my association with the NIAA is like Finley Prep, that I can't take a kid from the state of Nevada. He has to be outside of the state or outside of the country. And so to kind of give back to the community, there are a lot of kids here that sometimes don't get the chance to play with other programs in the summer, and so we take them and we try to enhance their skills and give them a chance to play with us.
Man, that's a good job, Coach. I want to talk about one of your players that I seen about 2 years ago, Deja Nick, man.
Yes.
I really like him. I said, a lot of people, they want to give me some flack, but I believe he's one of the best point guards in the state of Nevada.
Yes.
Yeah, can we talk a little bit about Deja?
Sure. I believe he's one of the best in the country.
Yes, sir.
But, he came to me, he was coming out of the 8th grade, and his coach had played against my SFBA team in one of Vegas Elite's events, and then in the Fab 48 during the summer. That was his coach up in Canada, who coached also the high school level, and then he had contacted me through email and sent me a clip of the kid, a 2-minute clip, and I said, Cindy, bring him. This is the kid. And he's a big-time kid. I told someone in the 8th grade when he came that he would one day be the best point guard in America.
Yes, sir.
He's growing. His vision is incredible. The gifts that God has given him. He's a great kid. He's coachable. He's learned a lot of the things that I'm trying to teach him, and his game has stepped up to an entirely different level.
Yes, sir. I know that you have some other players that's, you have quite a few international players and players from around other states, like as you said. Who are some of your other players that you believe that are going to play a key role this coming season?
We have a kid named Deion Stroud out of California, Fresno, and probably next to Kenny Wooten Jr., who we had last year. He's the most athletic kid I've ever had. His explosion from the floor to the rack is almost instantaneous. He has a quick first step. He's got quick hands, and when he first came, he was just an athlete. But he's poured himself into this thing, and he's become quite a player. His ability to finish around the basket is just incredible. He's a heck of a scorer. That's what he is. He's a scorer.
Yes, sir. So overall, as a team, what do you think? What is your expectations for your team this year?
We think that we have a chance to be pretty good. Our backcourt, we've got another kid out of Chicago by the name of Lamont Johnson. They call him LJ. He was at Morgan Park last year where they won a state championship. He's a junior, but we think he's the best defensive guard in the country. He's physical, strong. So our backcourt is really strong. Our front court is coming along. We got a kid out of Texas by the name of Tajin Smith that we think is going to be a pretty good post player, undersized. He's 6'8". And we got a 6'8" kid out of New York City, a sophomore, by the name of Justin Owens that really is like the next George Gervin in terms of his smoothness. He's really smooth, but he's just like a baby Great Dane now. He didn't have control of everything.
Right.
But if we can become a great defensive team, which I'm of hopes that we can, I think that we'll be one of the better teams.
Yes, sir. I know that you said, because I just want to let the city know, man, it's so important to have a program like yours in our city, because of the simple fact you bring more attention. It's just not the Finley Preps and the Gormans. Trinity International is a key component to the development of basketball in our city. And I just want to say to you, man, we appreciate what you do here. Yeah, big time. I really do. Now, are you guys going to be playing any teams from the local valley?
We are supposed to play one team, Desert Pine.
Okay.
We're supposed to play. I believe it's going to be November 28th. When I talked to Mike the other day, he said November 28th. We haven't confirmed that, but we're supposed to. No other team other than Finley Prep is willing to play us this year. But we'll play Finley December 6th, and we hope that to be a really good game. They smacked us last year. First time we got a chance to play them. They were the monster that we thought they were. And so, it was great for our kids to be able to see that. We only have 3 kids from last year's team. Everybody else is new. So it's going to be another learning experience, but we think we'll be able to run with them this year.
Yes, sir. Man, to tell you the truth, I was looking at your squad, and I seen the schedule, when y'all schedule actually start. I think it starts, November 5th, November 6th for the grind session?
Actually, for the grind session, but we start before that. We annually go to New Jersey every October. This year we'll play the 21st and 22nd in the event that Hoop Group gives. Last year we played St. Pat's, we played Westtown, we played St. Anthony's, and we played St. Mary Elizabeth. And they like to give us the toughest schedule, so we like it. That's why we keep going out there. We went 3-1 last year, lost to St. Pat's by 4, but we hope to go out there and go 4-0.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
then we leave there, and the first part of November we play in the Elite 14 in Texas, where it's just 2 10-minute halves, but we play against a lot of the ranked kids in the country, and then we come back, and then we have the grind session. And then we have, I believe at the end of the month, we are in the Ocean View tournament, which we were the defending champion from last year. So that's the end of November, beginning of December. And then we have Finley, and then we have the Tarkanian Classic. And so we're,
y'all really doing some things.
We are. Hopefully the grind session does something before Tarkanian here at the 8th and the 9th, we think.
And you know what I want people to understand, too, because I've been following y'all like real tough these past couple of years.
Yes.
During the summer, this past summer, man, y'all was around here smacking people and winning a gang of tournaments, and people don't even really recognize that.
We were quietly sneaking up on people.
Right.
That's for sure. A lot of our kids that tournaments during the summer, and we think we helped him get better. Hopefully, not better enough to give us 30, but I told him we're going to double team him every play. So, but yeah, we did. We ended up playing for some championships, which we hadn't done for a couple of years. There was a few years there where we had Dupree McBrayer, who's at Minnesota starting, Sam Bittner, who's at Fresno State starting. We had a couple guys that allowed us to be able to play for some championships when they were here. So we're back to that now, and we're pretty happy.
Man, well, we hope y'all stay back, Coach, because, man, we need that recognition in the city, man. I just want to say once again, man, we appreciate you giving us your time, man, and letting the Valley hear about Trinity International, because it's a program that's here to stay, I believe, and it's a program that's here to knock some people around a little bit. And, me being from Vegas, repping this city, I like that.
Well, we thank you. We thank you for the attention that you've given us. We thank the city for allowing us to be able to come in and contribute and make an impact. I love Vegas basketball. We got a lot of players here, and the competition level is just good, and that's why kids want to come here and play, because there is competition level here. There's exposure here. You have to earn it.
Man, you got to earn it.
Vegas is not a place that just gives it away to you.
That's
you
right.
got to come and earn it, and we think we're doing that. We think that we do it the right way. I respect every coach out here. There's a lot of great coaches here, and I'm trying to raise my game to be able to help contribute to the city as well.
Well, this interview right here is going to do a lot of help, man, because you got a lot of young coaches around here, man, who need that wisdom.
Yes.
Need that. They say young man for war, but older man for counsel.
Yes.
Man, you're going to give us great counsel, Coach. So I appreciate it. I hope I can stay around, get a little interviews from some of your players.
Most definitely. I would love that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.